Ahead of the anticipated meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump, U.S. Congressman Ro Khanna emphasized the need for a balanced trade relationship between the U.S. and India. Khanna highlighted that America maintains a trade balance with India, unlike its deficit with China, Europe, and even Canada. He stressed the importance of India committing to purchasing as much from the U.S. as it exports, ensuring a fair and sustainable economic partnership. Take a look.
Talk to us about the India caucus and you being the co-chair now, your commitment to strengthening the relationship between US and India.
Well, it's my second term as co-chair. I'm very proud what we accomplished last time, taking the India caucus to record numbers of members, over 140 members in the caucus. I hope to grow it even further this time. The relationship is strong around mutual defense interests, around a commitment to renewable energy, around a commitment to the responsible development of AI, and of course, a lot of Indian students come to our universities. It's a great export for America, and we have benefited from Indian immigration in the country.
Talk to us about the big meeting. Prime Minister Modi will be meeting with President Trump here in DC. The talks are expected to shape the trajectory, or should we say, setting the new chapter in the India-US relationship, or the next chapter. How do you see the meeting play out in terms of deliverables, and what can we expect from this meeting?
Well, it's a commitment that the U.S.-India relationship is bipartisan. It doesn't depend on a single president. My hope is that he will pick up on the work that President Biden did to deepen the military relationship and cooperation. We both recognize that the challenges that China poses to regional expansion, whether it is on Arunachal Pradesh or whether it is in the Taiwan Strait. We also have the opportunity for cross-border collaboration on scientific research and renewable energy, and we will work to do that with the India caucus.
Now, we do hear there would be some progress in the defense sector as well, something that we saw under the Biden administration as well. India could agree to purchase high-end US vehicles and military aircrafts, which means that there could be a stronger commitment on the defense side. Is this the new trajectory in the India-US relationship?
It is, and as you know, I'm a senior person on the Armed Services Committee. India has traditionally relied on Russia for a lot of its defense, but they have seen the Russian equipment be out of date and not as effective in this Ukraine war, and they are slowly transitioning to a more American manufacturing. Now, we have to be competitive on cost. We need to make sure that India is comfortable in joint venture arrangements on where it can promote its own domestic industry for manufacturing. But I am confident that we will continue to deepen this relationship so that India will, by the end of the decade, not have a majority reliance on Russia.
Right. Now, the Trump administration is known to be transactional in nature. What will the initiatives on trade or tariff look like under this during this meeting, which is on Thursday?
Well, it's very important that America have a trade balance with India. One of the things that has really corroded our relationship with China is a massive trade deficit, where China is selling us all of these products and not buying our products. The same thing with Europe. We have a trade deficit with them. We have a trade deficit even with Canada. We need a balanced trade relationship. So I think what's important with India is that they commit to buying as much from the United States as we buy from them.
Now, the upcoming meeting does sound like there will be focus on trade, defense cooperation, and technology, but has this been overshadowed somewhere by the recent deportations of Indians from the U.S. Recently? And, you know, this is just a number that we began with, many more to come, maybe.
Well, I'm sure immigration will be discussed. Look, my view is that when deportations take place, they need to be taking place humanely. They need to be taking place where those being deported are treating with appropriate dignity, not harassed or treated in inhumane conditions. And of course, the people coming to the United States need to follow the law and come legally. And so that's what I hope will get resolved.
Now, recently we did see you engaging with J.D. Vance over X on Elon Musk's poll to rehire fired Doge employee by normalizing that Indian hate is what it is. Do you see a rise in anti-India sentiment under the Trump administration?
Well, I was very disappointed that the Trump administration chose to rehire someone who had said that we should normalize Indian hate, who had said that we should revoke the Civil Rights Act of 1964, who had criticized interracial marriage. And all I said is that before the Trump administration rehires that person, they should have to retract their statements about the Indian American community, which have been deeply offensive to Indian Americans around the country. And unfortunately, the vice president said that he did not think that was appropriate, an apology or retraction. And that sends a signal of who they will hire in this administration.
Now, you're someone who's always stood for human rights, across the world, whether it's, in any part of the world. Talk to us about your impression about the situation in Bangladesh, especially the plight of Hindus there.
Well, I had the opportunity to speak with Prime Minister Muhammad Yunus. He assured me that there were no extrajudicial killings now of Hindus, that the situation is under control. He invited the press to come to Bangladesh to meet with him. I expressed to him my concern that there should be no killings of any minority faith, including Hindus, and he assured me that that would be the case.
My last question, Ro, how do you think that the political engagement will continue between Washington and New Delhi? And how will the U.S.-India strategic partnership and economic ties evolve under the Trump administration? Do you have any recommendations for this administration?
Well, the relationship has never been stronger. I really enjoyed my leading the trip last year to India, where we met with the Prime Minister, with Mr. Jaishankar and others. I think we need to see more relationship building between members of Congress and the Indian ministry and Parliament. We need to see more cooperation on defense, more cooperation on tackling climate, on AI. But this relationship is very, very strong, stronger than it has ever been in my 48 years. And I am hopeful it will continue in that direction.
Will you also be engaging with the Prime Minister during his visit here in DC? Will the India caucus and the co-chairs be a part of a meeting with the Prime Minister of India?
But it's unclear if he's going to come to the Capitol. If he does, I'm sure that'll be the case.